Ken Johnson with Matchroom Boxing, matchmaker himself. The man this week in Las Vegas, Mr. Eddie Hearn. Who is Eddie Hearn for us American people? The American people that don't know him.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn is a UK guy. He's a promoter in the UK whose dad was a Hall of Fame promoter. He's a guy who grew up around boxing since he was 8 years old. Loved the sport inside and out. We have a big sports promotional company, biggest promoter in the UK by a long way, and recently signed the biggest ever deal in boxing history with DAZN to become a US promoter. And we're out here hustling, doing our thing, trying to get a break, trying to create the big events, make the big fights, and we're excited.
How do you combat the perception? Don't work with Eddie Hearn. You got people telling fighters not to sign with you. But I've been around you for the last 2 days, and you've been nothing but positive.
Yeah, it's flattering. Because why would someone tell you that if they weren't scared or they didn't have fear? Don't sign with Eddie Hearn. Why? Like, I'm a big believer that you should wish everybody success, and it will be brought upon yourself. But there's a lot of people that don't want us to succeed because they're afraid of us. So it's going to be interesting to see what the future holds.
And for those hardcore boxing fans that think DAZN's going to cut out big fights, like say for instance having Tevin Campbell fight, Tevin Farmer fight, good old Gervonta Davis, and the Joshua and Wilder that goes out saying.
Canelo Jacobs this week. Like you can't ignore what DAZN are doing. You can't ignore the team of fighters that they've got together. So, but again, this is the same people that are saying, don't sign with Eddie Hearn, don't sign with DAZN. And then Canelo does, Joshua does, Triple G does, Danny Jacobs does, Demetrius Andrade does, Tevin Farmer does, Maurice Hooker does. Like, it's never ending, Dimitri Bivol does, Rungvisai does, Usyk does. Like, look at those names that I've just rattled off there. This is the home of boxing. And we're 6 months in, 7 months in. So we're in a great position. And this is a big weekend, for DAZN, because this is Canelo Jacobs. This is their first super fight.
How big a deal is it for you to work with everybody, regardless if it's Bob Arum or Al Heyman or whoever?
The difference with me is that at the moment, I'm not bitter by the sport of boxing. Boxing as a business makes you bitter, and it makes you angry, and it makes you emotional. But I'm 10 years in to the business side, right? I'm 30 years into the sport, but I'm 10 years into the business side. So I don't have that bitterness yet, where others will stop things from happening just to stop others getting on. Stop things happening that benefits their business that might be detrimental to a fighter's career. So we're fresh in that respect. That's why I talk about, if Tevin has to go and fight Gervonta on Showtime, so be it. But he's got to get paid like we're paying him, or we would pay him for that fight. So, we don't believe in obstructing fighters' careers and making decisions that benefit Matchroom rather than the fighter.
I hung with you earlier. You gave me some insight on your visit to the UFC Performance Center and meeting Dana White. A lot of people don't know that's kind of like your role model in this game.
Yeah, I mean, the UFC brand and what Dana White has done is quite inspirational to me as a promoter. And although we are the biggest promoter in world boxing, we're not as big as the UFC, and we're not as big as Dana White. And to see their setup, he was extremely courteous to give me a tour. It was inspirational to me. Everyone's got. I'm not saying Dana White is, my inspiration, but that business is certainly an inspiration to me, and I respect him massively. So it was amazing to see their setup, their plans, their vision. That's the most important thing, vision, because you have to have a vision and you have to have a strategy, you have to have a mindset of where you want to take what you're doing. Doesn't matter what business you run, even yourself. You can't just rock up every day and say, I'm just going to film a few people and get it out there. You have to have a plan. You have to have a vision of where you want to be. And I have a vision of where Matchroom wants to be. And it's not too far away from where the UFC are. I don't steal their ideas, but I do look at what they're doing and say, wow, that's genius. And we've got to be more like that. We've got to have that corporate identity as Matchroom.
What some ideas have you taken?
Yeah, just generally to develop the brand. Talking about streaming, talking about the in-event experience, talking about the branding, talking about the social interactions. So many different things that we can learn off. And by the way, I think all boxing promoters can learn off the success of the UFC. They just don't want to tell you about it. They would refuse to tell you that the UFC.
It's like the UFC is a cuss word in boxing.
Yeah, it is. But I'm telling you, it's an inspirational brand to me. And look at the audience. Look at the the vibrancy of that audience compared to boxing in the US. That's what they're doing. I said to Danny the other day, what we're doing in the UK is basically, it's the same audience, it's the same mindset, not the same people, but the same kind of people that we're attracting to the shows in the UK. You're dressed up, you're a night out, more women go to the event, music, dancing, it's a night out rather than, oh, you're going to the fights? Yeah, I'm going to the fights. Yeah, just sit there like, we don't want you to turn up like that. We want you to turn up like, yeah. And a lot of that is about being excited about what's on and knowing what's on. You've got to educate the fan base. And one of the problems with the US is we've done shows, like people have gone home before the co-main event and the main event. And I'm like, you've paid your money. What? I don't even think they know that there's even more fights on, So we have to make sure that we educate the fight fans. That's really important because I think you have so many sports here in the US, whether it's American football, hockey, basketball, baseball, and then all the college systems as well, that boxing's right down here. So we have to work extra hard to educate the audience and let them know what we're trying to do. That's why interviews like this, and I'm sure you find as well, other promoters, there's 20 guys like you trying to do what you're doing, right? I'll make sure I won't leave till I've done it, all 20, right? Because they're all important, you're all important, because we're trying to spread the word, spread the gospel. How many times you go to a press conference where you don't get another promoter, that he might do a huddle, and then just like, fuck off.
It's free for all, you got 20 people asking 20 questions.
I don't mind, if we're going to get the respect of the fight fans, if we're going to build and let the fight fans, what we've done in the UK is we've interacted with those people. I'm accessible. You can tweet me abuse.
You make them feel like they're a partner. I know it's your partner.
Tweet me abuse on social media. I might reply it, or you can give me credit. We'll do videos, we'll answer questions. I'll be honest, we'll be accessible. I'll take the criticism. You can ask me anything you want. Sometimes you might get a promoter where the guys say, don't ask him this or don't ask him that. Ask me whatever you want. I don't care. We have to be accessible to the fans, and that's what I think UFC have done really well, and Dana's done really well. Is he has been accessible, and he's been that guy where the fans can go, I like Dana because he's like one of us, if you like.
That's my next question. How big it would be to partner with him in boxing? Because it's a well-known secret. Because I'm one of the few people that cover MMA and boxing. The nice people at UFC, great people. I did with them, and I did with y'all. It's like a well-known secret in the MMA game that he wants to get into boxing. And y'all partnering up would be a power.
I believe we're the biggest promoters in the world right now, and he will want to be the biggest promoters in the world right now. So, does he want to go up against us? Does he want to partner with us? We'd explore everything. I don't know whether that's possible to, partner up with the UFC or, but we just talked and said, let's talk. Like, we've both got similar ideas. I think we're both quite similar in how we think things should be done. Doesn't mean we're going to get on, doesn't mean we're going to have a business relationship, but I respect them. And if they come into boxing, I'm not one of those guys who will say, if Suffolk comes into boxing, this and that. I'm saying, come to boxing, because it'll be great for the sport. The more promoters, the more money, the more network deals, it's great for everybody. So I wish them all the success.
It's funny because usually you get all that, like I said, the UFC is like it's a cuss word. You being so open and stuff like that. They want to work with them because
everybody's got the inspiration. Everyone's got the people or organisations or whatever it is that inspires them, that makes them hungry. For you, it might be, I don't know, someone that's cracked it reporting fight sports on YouTube. Where you look up to that guy and you go, you know what, so when I got an opportunity to see it and be around it, I left there thinking, I felt inspired, fuck, we've got a long way to go. Did you see what they were doing with that gym? We should build one of those in the UK. And, they've got this streaming facility, and we should do, it's just like things coming into your mind of...
Some tricks you can add to your game.
Yeah, but realising you've never cracked it, that you've never got to that high point. We are so big now in the UK that we could just shut up shop and say, we're the big boys. No one can touch us. But I don't want to do that. I want to see if we can take it to the next level. Yeah, worldwide. We're now expanding into a lot of multiple territories. I want the Matchroom brand to be like the UFC brand, but in boxing.
International.
Yeah.
Oh, good look. I got it. Since I got you here, can you give us, will we see Joshua Wilder in the next year? Can we get in the next 12 months? Will we see it?
I hope so. I mean, look, we're in a situation where his managers have come out and said they don't want to fight in 2019. They'll look at it in 2020. That's one of the problems in boxing. When we talk about UFC, why would you not want the biggest fight in boxing, the undisputed fight? Why would you not want that now? I can't understand it, really. So we'll see. Look, Joshua has to beat Andy Ruiz on June 1st. Wilder has to beat Brazil on May 18. And then hopefully people can see sense.
Regardless of what network is in, I know you can't reveal all those plans. Will the fight be over here in America?
We've said it will be. We feel like everything that Joshua's built, that he deserves to get that first fight in the UK. But if he has to come to America to fight him, he will.
And last but not least, where's that inner confidence guy? Like, you like that guy that got the personality, your fighters love you. It's like you look at them as partners, not they're working for you.
Us friends, and the game's changed. Like, fighters used to have no control. Now they have lots of control, and it's great for fighters because you've got to give them that respect. They are the talent, they are the sport. So I like being involved with fighters. I like developing relationships with them. I like being their guy, and that inspires me to work harder for them, to push harder for them, to get more for them, and to try and make sure that we achieve success together.